Welcome back to another episode of the Modernist Guide. This is once again an album review. This time have of Mice and Men. Echo of Mice and Men is a metalcore band founded in 2009. This is their seventh record, their third, without the original founding member and lead vocalist, who has had a lot of medical troubles and also personal issues with other band members, and he's just been one big struggle. And I'm not here to point fingers or blame anybody. You can look that in if it's important to you. But this is the third record where they have tried to course correct, I guess, their own catalog to songs that the rest of the band is really comfortable with. And it's pretty decent, I guess. I had super mixed feelings of their 2018 record, Defy, which is where they had the new style. Like, I thought it was fun, but I just thought it was pure, flat, simple punk, nothing special. Here, they're a lot heavier again, but I don't know. They're such a very simple, come as you are, middle of the road band to me. Like, they are catchy, but sometimes they just start to get really, really samey to me. I like the opening song, Timeless, but it's that same old of screaming, blistering verses and then clean, super catchy, high octane chorus. And I swear I heard Obsolete like 5 years ago. Obsolete is like the lead single, and I swear that song is what you hear and you're like, oh, then I've heard every single of Mice and Men song ever. So what's the point of a seventh record? Even if it is the third one with their bassist taking over for vocals. But then I am a little surprised with Levy, but that's about the only surprise. Was they kind of add a little bit of old school new metal stuff, but it's that, like, and I love it. It's an addicting like noise to me where it's like that thing I love. I don't know what that is. It's type of sampling, I assume, and that's all over new metal, and anybody can do it, and it's anywhere, and it's not special. I love it, and it's like, pixie sticks to me, pretty much, where it's like, yeah, it's sugar, I'm gonna do it anyways. Bloom feels a little more complex. I enjoy chunks of it. So if I were to recommend, like, oh, here's potential for them to do a little bit better, then like Bloom would be one. And then the last three songs, I already said earlier that Levy was the only surprise. I have to take that back because I almost kind of forget, like, the last three songs in random parts, not all throughout except the last song, which is Helplessly Hoping. That song is almost completely in the style, which is just like the Thousand Suns Living Things era of Linkin Park, the atmosphere, smoky, ethereal feeling that those two records had in spades, especially Thousand Suns. But this is the more accessible version and the more easygoing, not having to really dive into the feeling that Living Things did instead. So it's more Living Things. But yeah, the last three songs, I'd say, check them out because they're onto something for once. Fighting Gravity, Echo, and again, Helplessly Hoping. Those three, along with Bloom and Levy, I think is when they get interesting. But I think if you want their most blistering, hard-hitting track, that's Mosaic. That's pretty good. It's almost pure metalcore. And so if you want to hear just how hard they can get sometimes, that's the one to go to. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't want to say too little too late, but there's also other bands very similar that are doing more unique things. Beartooth, for example, which the history that they share with Mice and Men is that the lead singer of Mice and Men, the lead singer Beartooth, were singers together in Attack Attack, and then they split up and they found those two bands. And Beartooth is just pure though. Beartooth is so straightforward and nonsensical, but it's like more endearing and more like the hard working man's kind of melodic hardcore kind of shit. It's more appealing to me without being complex or experimental. But then if you want something more complex or experimental, you have Bring Me the Horizon or the new Architects record. I actually think is pretty good. It's either you love it or you hate it, really. And even the new Bullet for My Valentine record has a lot of similarity to Echo, and it's just, we are in 2021 and I'm still naming bands who were kind of all lumped together in 2014, 2013, and Of Mice and Men is the only one that has hardly changed, really, I think. But again, Beartooth is kind of just That I don't know. Beartooth just bangs their head against the wall, and I'm like, yeah. But of Mice and Men banging their head against the wall, it's like you just did it because Beartooth did it, and that's not fair because I don't think they are in competition at all. It's just something about Beartooth is nicer, just more enjoyable, and I think it's because of vocals. I think it's because of the lyric writing. So I'm gonna give this a 5.7 out of 10 because while I was thrown for a loop twice, it's because I wasn't expecting much and I got what I expected out of the other like 8 or 9 songs that are on this record. So it's not terrible, but you know, if you just want safe, I guess is the word, then you know, you get what you come for. It's just there's so much more interesting ways to do this that other bands are doing literally in just this year alone. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, and if not, just thank you for listening as always, and have a good night.